Israel. Learn English podcast with Safa Shelley, the world's best language school. Let's go.
ברוכים הבאים לפודקאסט של שפות שלי, בית ספר לאנגלית ושפות נוספות המוביל בישראל. I'm אריאל, I'm your host for today. Done a few solo podcasts. Josh has been away. And today he's joining me for another fun episode. How are you, Josh?
Hello, this is Josh. Not AI Josh.
The regular Josh.
Regular.
The real Josh. All right. So good to hear from you, man. I've done a few episodes, last 2-3 episodes on my own.
Really?
It's been fun. It's been interesting. You guys can track back and לחזור אחורה, להקשיב קצת לפודקאסטים קודמים מעניינים שעשינו. אם זה פעם ראשונה שאתם מאזינים לנו כאן, ברוכים הבאים, welcome. This is going to be fun. אנחנו בעצם בית ספר לאנגלית, קוראים לנו שפות שלי. אנחנו מלאים כאן גם עוד 9 שפות. אנחנו מתמחים בלמד שפה המדוברת בצורה מאוד חדשנית, מהירה וכיפית, ואנחנו מתמחים בכל הרמות, לתת לכם כלים במיוחד לישראלים, to Israelis that want to speak English, אנחנו יודעים איפה הקושי, איפה המוקשים שלכם, ולהביא את הדקדוק זמנים פעלים שכל כך מקשה עליכם, להביא את זה לידי ביטוי בצורה יותר קלה ואינטואיטיבית למוח, שיאפשר לכם ממש לדבר את השפה בצורה טבעית, and to be able to basically speak fluently. I mean, what the most students struggle is they think in Hebrew.
Yeah.
חושבים בעברית, מאוד קשה להם לשלוף מילים מהפה.
Translate from Hebrew to English.
Yeah, to actually speak, to actually get the speaking going. So we have certain drills that we do, כל מיני תרגילים.
Why, this pizza is on my face.
לעזור להם לדבר.
על הפנים.
Okay. אז pizza on the face.
Pizza is not good.
אז לעזור לכם לדבר בצורה של מה לדעת איך לשלוף את זה בזמן אמת, וכל מיני דוגמאות שג'וש נתן פה עם תרגום ליטרלי ולא, שיש לפעמים מעברית לאנגלית, and speak the right way. עשו איתנו קשר ב-053-550-1976, אנחנו זמינים גם בוואטסאפ, ונשמח לשמוע מכם, אנחנו נשמח לעזור, ותתחילו להגשים את עצמכם, and learn to speak English the right way, maybe not my way, your way, like
I respectfully, sometimes I joke. Some of my students will be like, they'll tell me, your manager, he doesn't sound like you. Like, I'm like, yeah, well, I have to explain. Those South Africans have a very different English, and some might dare to say that it's not the correct one. I'm just joking.
Look, I say it's the original one.
It is from Africa.
But listen, no, it's not. It's actually from the UK.
Well, yeah, but the South African dialect is from Africa.
Is from Africa, that's correct. Okay, אז אני וג'וש מדברים על what is the source of my accent.
Yeah.
אז אני דרום אפריקאי, basically, so that comes אנגלים from the UK.
Yeah.
They went to South Africa and they mixed up with the Dutch.
How long ago?
That was in, I think, early 1800s.
Not 1800s. I think it was earlier than that.
Yeah, Jan van Riebeeck was.
The Boers were much. The Boers were 1500s.
I'm not that good in history. I don't remember.
We should do a history podcast sometime.
Yeah, so basically, הם הגיעו, and then the dialect got a bit mixed up between British and Boer and Dutch.
Yeah.
And the American accent came much later. I mean, it was originally UK. Now, what is the American history? How did the American accent come up?
That's a very, very good question. It has just developed. I mean, America as a country is what we say melting pot, right? And so
What's a melting pot, Josh?
Oh, it's a sir dvarim sheminames beyachad. Sir, like what it really means though is that you have people from different cultures, like Israel. Israel is definitely a melting pot too. And even though there's no other countries that speak Hebrew, right? There is an Israeli dialect of Hebrew, right? The Hebrew that we speak it with an Israeli accent, right? If you were to go to Yemen hundreds of years ago and hear, Hebrew read from the Torah, they wouldn't be reading it the same way as, Jews that were reading from the Torah in, let's say, Europe or something, right? And that's because the dialects, the sounds were different, and we have developed our own way of speaking this language, right?
From the UK, though?
No. I'm talking about Hebrew. Now, English, as an example, English comes from the UK, goes to America, and you have all these different people from all over the world coming. You have Dutch, different parts of Europe as well. You have Native Americans. You have so many different influences going on. And after the War of Independence, I mean, British rule ended, right? And the Brits are very, very keen on enforcing, all the representations of their society and the kingdom and the kings. So that goes down.
אוקיי, אז בעצם אתם מושפעים מכל מיני מבטאים,
כן.
כאילו בעצם בארצות הברית.
המבטא שלנו מושפע מכל מיני תרבויות, וגם פשוט חסר בריטניות, right? We didn't have any Britain, we didn't have the Brits controlling us anymore, right?
Okay, so you wanted to, as them get to, I think because it was Brits controlling it, the War of Independence basically, no?
Yeah.
And you guys wanted to basically maybe get away from the British accent, maybe, no?
Oh, that could be, I think, a little bit, yeah.
I think you guys are influenced by the Red Indian accent, the Apache.
Well, so we have
Lost Mohican.
there are words from names of cities, Chicago, Minnesota, all of those. That's all Indian. Those are all Indian terms originally, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there are phrases and stuff that we have that go back to, that come from the Native
Americans.
Yeah.
דוגמה.
Yeah, I can't, not off the top of my head. No, there are definitely expressions.
Okay, אז אחרי ההקדמה הזאת הנחמדה ומעניינת, about a little history language about the source of the Josh's American ra accent, American accent, אנחנו נגש לכמה מילים that are used in business English, שאתם יכולים לעקוב, לחשוב איך הייתם אומרים את זה בעברית, באנגלית, and we're going to give it a little bit of explanation about some of these words and what they mean, ואיך להשתמש בהם באנגלית עסקית. Number one, Josh, mergers and acquisitions. איך הם אומרים mergers and acquisitions? What is it and how do we say it in Hebrew? All right, so we have mergers and acquisitions, זה בעצם מיזוג ורכוש.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to give us an example sentence in English?
So the company is considering mergers and acquisitions to expand its market share. But we could also say, for instance, like the biggest merger in video games would be if Xbox and PlayStation combined. And I've heard actually some rumors, something along those lines might happen.
Okay, so merger is mizug, an acquisition of רכוש. So if we're going to give the example, משפט שאתה נתת, I'm just going to translate it quickly. Josh אמר משפט, the company is considering mergers and acquisitions to expand its market share. This happens a lot in the gaming, like you said.
Yeah, Microsoft and PlayStation.
Okay, אז כדי להרחיב את נתח השוק שלה, החברה שוקלת מיזוגים ברכישות.
Yeah.
All right, let's try another one. This is an interesting one because זה מדבר על הרבה אנשים מתחום ההייטק, disruptive innovation. People like to use it, אני רואה הרבה ישראלים כל כך מתלהבים about the word disruptive, like I've seen it in הרבה אנשי פרסום using it. I'm a disruptive marketing and what's saying,
Yeah.
people like, I know that you're a disruptive, you label yourself a disruptive English teacher.
We've had complaints in from other offices around sometimes. The kids students really like to learn,
Okay. As disruptive innovation זה חדשנות משבשת. What does it mean basically? It means that you're bringing new tech that
makes something else not relevant.
Not real, obsolete.
Obsolete the word obsolete means כבר לא relevanti, right? That's a word we use. It is obsolete, זה כבר לא relevanti, right? Can you give an example of this? I can think of one, the CD player. We had diskim or CDs, and then the iPod, MP3. There's no need for discs anymore, right?
All right. And okay, so now, Josh פתחת פה נושא. You opened up Pandora's box.
הקופצה של פנדורה. דיברנו על זה.
דיברנו על זה מיליון פעם.
Yeah.
So אנחנו לא נדבר על זה עוד פעם. אם אתם לא יודעים מה זה Pandora's box,
check it in the other podcast.
Go back to that
Greek
podcast.
mythology.
Go back to that podcast because we talked about it so many times. פשוט אין לי כוח לדבר עוד פעם על Pandora's box. But you opened up Pandora's box, ומה זה אומר בעצם? זה אומר אני הולך שנייה להסביר למה אני מתכוון כאן. You talked about the CD player and turning it to an iPod. But listen to this. Who was the first company? מי הייתה החברה הראשונה עם האייפוד? Apple, right? Okay, so החברה הכי מפורסמת, אמריקאית, Apple. Israelis love Apple. Everyone loves Apple. So they were the first company that came out with Apple, with the iPod.
Yeah.
But now, the iPod disappeared gum.
Yeah.
Technology like you say, משובשת.
Yeah.
And which company cannibalized the iPod?
Well, I would say I have two things. It was two things, and mostly I think it was more the tech and then the company. So the tech would be the smartphone. The smartphone made the iPhone irrelevant, or the iPod irrelevant. So, you know, you're using your iPod and then you see on TV, oh, the new iPhone has iTunes on it, right? You can listen to whatever music you've already been putting. You don't need to have this extra device now, right? To
לא צריך עוד...
compartmentalize this thing, you know, have extra stuff. You have it all in one now. So that became irrelevant. And then eventually you had YouTube and then eventually Spotify, but basically streaming services.
Okay, but בוא נחשוב שנייה, let's go one second back, okay?
No.
Cannibalized זה לאכול את עצמו. Okay, אז זאת אומרת, אז היה מוצר אייפוד, ותחשוב את הגאונות, what Steve Jobs did here, the genius behind Steve Jobs. מה שסטיב ג'ובס עשה, הוא בעצם אמר, אנחנו הולכים לקחת מוצר שלנו, שנמכר, sales, looks good, ואנחנו הולכים לאכול אותו.
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to get eaten up into the smartphone. אז אמרו לו, שנייה, אבל why? למה לא תציג גם סמארטפון, גם אייפוד? And then he said that basically, if we don't cannibalize it, if we don't eat up now, התחרות שלנו יעשה את זה. Our competition is going to do it. So he made a very smart move about bringing the iPhone out and then cannibalizing, eating up that what's in. That is a nice example, Josh. Amazing. All right. בוא נדבר על עוד מדד שהוא מאוד מאוד חשוב לחברה. It's called KPIs. What does KPI stand for, Josh?
I have no idea, actually.
KPI?
KPI, could you tell me? I'm really not sure.
KPI stands for Key Performance Indicators.
Oh, can I ask, so is this like an example, like if you see a company open up another store, right? Or another restaurant or something, right?
Okay.
Like, you know, performance indicator. It shows, it's an indicator.
It's a growth indicator. There'll be a growth indicator. Performance indicator would be more like, we do this a lot as a Fortune also. I'm going to give you a little bit behind the scenes. They'd say we do customer satisfaction. Okay, and if we see that customer satisfaction is going up from, let's say, 95% to 98%, that's a strong customer indicator.
It's a KPI.
It's a KPI, exactly. It's a key performance indicator. I'll just give you an example.
So it's more statistics.
זה מדד ביצוע עיקריים, מדדי ביצוע עיקריים. It's showing you what, like, internal operations, what you've improved on, what your performance is on. For example, if אתם חברה שעושה, בוא נקרא לזה שיווק online, you're doing online marketing, and therefore you can see that the conversions have gone up, more people are registering for your services, and it's gone up, בוא נגיד עלה מ-5% ל-10%, your key performance, your KPI has gone up. Okay, so the KPI, I'll give an example במשפט, our KPI show a 20% rise in customer satisfaction. ה-KPI שלנו, המדד ביצועים העיקריים שלנו, מציג עלייה של 20% בשביעות רצון. Alright, that is an important one for any company, and I want to bring another one. This is great, Josh. Give us another example.
Blue Ocean Strategy.
Blue Ocean Strategy. Alright. I'm going to talk about
הכחול.
אסטרטגיית אוקיינוס כחול. Do you know what this means in business?
It sounds, I think of two things, money and the ocean as Ocean's 11.
Okay, that's one way to think.
Ocean's 11. That's what I'm.
The way to remember it.
Yeah,
Ocean's 11, the movie with Brad Pitt, and
it was a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one.
And there's money.
Then there's money. All right, so Blue Ocean definitely means money, but במובן אחר, אוקיי? אוקיינוס הכחול, שאנחנו מדברים על אוקיינוס כחול בתחום העסקי, Blue Ocean, they call it in English.
Yeah.
We are talking about a situation where it's never been done before. Okay, something that's a market which has never been exposed before. For example, the internet before the internet arrived. There was Blue Ocean when the internet first came on.
I understand.
Right? Something which is completely new. So you'd say, יש אוקיינוס כחול, you have a blue ocean in front of you because no one's doing it. No one else is doing it.
So basically, when you have a product that provides something, or basically create a product that's so innovative, that you actually create a market itself. The market didn't exist before, and now there's a market.
בדיוק, ומייצר שוק חדש. בשביל זה, just for that, you're basically creating a new market, רק בשביל הדבר הזה, which is amazing. זה כאילו, אתה יודע, כל חברה חולמת על זה. We do have, like, I'll be honest with you, we do have, like, I think you do know that as well. We do have like a mini blue ocean here.
Really?
In terms of our teaching method and what we do in the style and approach that is like basically trailblazing a new type of market, a new type of teaching which differentiates us from, let's say, other schools.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. זה לגבי זה. Next one that would be interesting. What about diversification? And what is diversification? It's not only in business. I mean, that could be in anything. אתה רוצה לדבר על זה קצת, Josh?
Yeah, sure. Well, I know, I mean, I don't know that much about this word, about this term, but I know that the word to diversify or diversity, something I learned a lot about in America in school and stuff. They always taught us about diversity, which is basically having a group of people, and each person, it has a lot of individual characteristics, and they're from a different background, and we're mixed, and you have someone who's Mexican and someone who's black and someone who's Jewish. That's what diversity was in America.
You have a joke for that?
Not that I would say on a podcast, but no, the diversification I would imagine is when you have something probably with, I would guess, income, and maybe you have different types of income.
Okay, so Josh, תראו את החשיבה, זה יפה לכם לשמוע, כי זה כמובן מה שאנחנו מדברים עכשיו, זה חלק מאנגלית עסקית terms, וזה terms מאוד מאוד טכניים, right? Some of these terms are very technical, so you need to like prep for this.
Yeah.
So, ג'וש מראה לכם פה שנייה זווית, איך להגיע להבנה על מה מדובר. What does diversification בעסקים mean? כשאנחנו מדברים על diversification in business, we are talking about פיזור סיכונים, okay, which means basically to diversify your investment risks. Okay, אז אם אתה הולך לא לשים כל הביצים בסל אחד, not put all your eggs in one basket, and diversify a little bit. אנחנו נדבר על עוד מילה מאוד מאוד משומשת כרגע. Josh, this is an interesting one. Market penetration. So market penetration זה חדירה לשוק. It's basically when you're coming in with a new product and you're looking to draw, not even new, but maybe a competing product. Okay. משהו שלהתחרות עליו. And you want to come in and you want to drive sales, you want to bring knowledge about it, אז אתה רואה איך אתה מחדיר את זה לשוק בעצם, how to get your sales going and how to get that working up. All right. Another one which is highly used, I mean, this is a basic one, ואני בטוח שאתם מכירים את זה, supply chain. Okay? Supply chain זה שרשרת אספקה. Do you want to give us an example sentence, Josh?
The supply chain was disrupted by global shortages, or the Houthim.
All right, or the Houthim, yeah, Houthim. That's a good example of supply chain.
Yeah, Houthim. כדאי לראות. זה תקוע בראש שלי היום.
Okay, so you know what is it saying basically? What does the sentence mean which you said? אז השרשרת אספקה היא בעצם היה לה הפרעה בגלל מחסורים של אספקה. Shortages. Okay, בגלל חוסר, not אספקה, חוסר, shortage. Okay. Next word, this is interesting and this is very smart and important. Whistleblower. You know what whistleblower means?
A whistleblower. I do know what a whistleblower is.
What is a whistleblower?
I remember, what was the guy? WikiLeaks was a thing. But basically, a whistleblower is someone, מישהו ששורק, אבל לא בעצם שורק ככה מילה?
כן, לשרוק,
right? It's someone who works in a company or is in an organization and they see something that they don't like. So what they do,
or something illegal,
Generally
it's illegal.
And so what they do is they make it public. They make whatever's happening public knowledge, and it causes drama. Companies can lose money, a lot of stuff.
All right, so that's okay. That's a good one. Whistleblower. בדרך כלל זה, that they have it in the States as well, and also in Israel. Normally relating to like IRS, income tax, fraud, anything there, or in a company, you can set up a whistleblower in that situation. Yeah. All right, let's try to get two more terms in quickly. Next one is search engine optimization, SEO, search engine optimization. זה קידום אתרים. So effective SEO boosts website visibility. SEO, קידום אתר אפקטיבי, משפר בעצם את הביקורים באתר. And SEO, that's very, very important. And then we have intellectual property, קניין רוחני. You know what intellectual property is?
Something that you own legally. It's your idea. No one can take it from you. If they do, you can sue them unless they're in China.
Correct, but it's mainly with patents, mainly related to patents, and mostly in the IT industry. You come up with software or anything like that, which can be very, very interesting. All right, let's do one more thing, one more term, quick one. Burn rates. What is the burn rate? Burn rate is a קצב שריפת מוזמנים. The startup's burn rate is unsustainable. שריפת מזומנים של הסטארט-אפ אינו אפשרי, אינו בר קיימא. All right, so I think that's it for today in terms of time. We're running out of time. We've got another lesson coming up.
The audio guy is flashing the light.
And it's flashing the light. And that is all that we have for today in terms of some key business terms. That was fun. Have yourself a good week. Hopefully you'll be back again next week, Josh.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. We appreciate your feedback.
Thank you for listening, guys.
בבקשה תנו לנו פידבק על הפרק של היום. איך היה הפרק של היום, אם נהנתם. If you find this interesting and useful.
All hate mail goes.
Or hate mail to Josh.
Yeah.
אם אתם רוצים שג'וש לא יחזור גם, you can write us.
Yeah,
it's okay. And please get in touch, obviously, if you want to find out about more information about the courses here, ב-053-550-1976, או דרך האתר שלנו, ב-www.שפות שלי.co.il. Thank you for listening. We'll see you again next week, and bye.